Hello, VannKraken here, World of Warships Legends Alpha Tester. In this video, we'll review key performance qualities set up in live Legends gameplay for a unique and powerful battleship to answer this vital question. Is Sinop the best Tier 6 battleship? So let's explore it for high AP pen main battery guns, stout armor scheme, and damage control party with a twist push her to the top of the Tier 6 tech tree heap. Russian battleships may be mostly paper designs at the higher tiers of Legends, but that doesn't hold them back from being strong performers as compared to their peers. First off, Sinop's artillery features 9 16-inch main battery guns with excellent AP penetration and an improved accuracy feature at ranges of 12 kilometers or closer that's unique to Russian BBs, as well as a good complement of secondary battery rifles. However, her main battery accuracy gets noticeably worse at ranges greater than 12 kilometers, her reload time is not stellar, her turret traverse is painfully slow, and her secondary battery base range is only 4.5 kilometers. Next up, you might consider running the optional catapult fighter consumable on Sinop if the meta becomes carrier heavy at some point, because while her anti-aircraft capability is not as tragic as the Emperor Nikolai, it's definitely not up to US Navy standards either. From a survivability perspective, Russian battleships in general feature very effective and forgiving armor schemes when angled at about 20 to 30 degrees, including an icebreaker bow, a generous health pool of 65,000 hit points, and a fast damage control party that is limited in quantity but has a much shorter duration cooldown than other nations. But you do have to do your very best not to show a flat side to the enemy, as Sinop's Citadel rides a bit high in the water and is definitely capable of giving up Dev Strike level knockout blows to your foes. Ouch! Thankfully, you can manage broadside exposure with good overall mobility, including a relatively high top speed of 27 knots and a workable rudder shift. Just be aware that you'll have to tamp down the throttle if you want to make sharpish turns, as her 960 meter turning circle is similar to that of an obese manatee and about 300 meters greater than North Carolina's. And finally, from a concealment perspective, Sinop has a low visual profile with less superstructure to visually aim at and hit, but she's a typical battleship with a base concealment range of 14.6 kilometers. For setup, we turn to Captain Mikhail Kedrov, looking extra snazzy in his dress whites. From an attack perspective, we buff up our main battery traverse speed, reload time, and AP shell penetration multiplier by choosing Charles Madden and Robert Jaujard as commander inspirations. We really push those sluggish turrets with Kedrov's vicious circle base trait and crisscross skill, add more benefit to main battery reload and torpedo detection distance with Brawler, and try to maintain some range with reaching out XXL. Finally, we boost accuracy with Aiming Systems Mod 1. From a survivability perspective, we take legendary skill Will to Rebuild to regenerate health beyond our repair party charges and Volunteer to give us an extra fast damage control party charge, which are limited in number on Soviet BBs. Lastly, we skip the marginally useful target acquisition system and save 2 million credits for now, and round things out with Damage Control System Mod 2 to allow us to mitigate damage taken when we get within fighting distance. Overall, we're pushing Sinop in the direction of a powerful short to mid-range brawler, with both accurate and powerful main battery fire. And while we use our solid armor to our full advantage, we've added just a few key survival buffs to increase her durability so she can tank more damage when needed. Without further delay, let's get to our battle stations and pick up some previously recorded live stream Sinop game action. Our map is straight and we are in a top tier match. Sorry, on full price because I live there. Okay. I just fired behind the Omaha? No. Okay, we got him. We hit him. Now we're gonna get our third devastating strike. Again, instead of just going straight into 3 ships, I'm just gonna kite out and then I'm gonna loop back in. So I'm gonna kite out and I'm gonna let these guys get broadside to me. But right now I'm gonna prioritize the Omaha. He doesn't think I am, but he's not fooling me. one of our... Had a couple overpens, so we didn't delete him. Strong shells like this on a broadside over Omaha are almost a little bit too much. Better for cruiser AP, which has a little less chance of overpenning, which is the shell basically going all the way through the hull of the ship before the fuse arms. This Fuso should get hurt, though. Okay. So yeah, look at us. We don't have a cap there to fight over, so there's no reason to push straight into the enemy and die. This is another common deployment issue, is the YOLO, which these two guys are doing along with that Omaha. There's no cap to fight over, so these people who think that you have to push in a battleship at the start of the game every single time is just a misguided way of thinking. Oh crap.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Okay, we had no destroyer support at this cat, so kind of wasn't paying attention to the potential for torpedoes. Swing your butt! Okay, we're gonna take one. We have the fast reloading damage control party, so I'm not too bummed about that.
Problem solved, sir.
And the fact that these guys are Fusos and they're pushing through and giving us full broadside is a huge mistake. I'm probably going to get smacked by the Fuso because I'm being a little bit greedy here. I'm wanting to kill this Omaha. I should be bowing into the Fuso right now. Oh my overpens, and no one's shooting the Omaha. Okay, they're saving him for me. Finally.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
Now I'm not going to ram. Do not ram. Especially if you've got plenty of hit points left. But we're going to stay as bow into the Fuso as we can, but I'm going to keep a little bit of speed. If I stop and try to bow tank right now, I give him the option of ramming me. So I'm actually going to steer away. His guns are pointed the wrong way, which is going to help me out. And hopefully we can get enough going with secondaries here and our rear turrets. God, there's that DD again. There's no torpedoes on that side, thankfully. Oh crap, I oversteered. Slow turning turrets on the Russian battleships. Good God.
Enemy battleship sunk.
Yeah, you can overturn your turrets on the Russian battleships, and you just like Pensacola, the first experience that most people have with slow turning turrets. Ooh. Okay, let's load up HE. Again, I really love the AAP in this boat, but now we are in kind of a destroyer duel situation. And that North Carolina is really low health, so if I happen to use some HE on him, it wouldn't be a terrible thing to do to shoot a low health battleship with HE. And I'm going to put my plane up just to help detect torpedoes a wee bit sooner. I'm going to try to get one salvo off on the North Carolina and just kite from this area where the DD is. Again, there's no caps to go for, so... Oh, we got a fire. MP call, plane is poor man's sonar. You are absolutely right. Planes do help you detect torps sooner. So, good call. Good call. Oh, Shiriatsu. This HE is going to do some pretty serious damage when we can connect on a DD. We're not going to get him. The buddy's going to get him. That's okay. Okay, now we're going to switch back to AP. I have good teams tonight. That has not been the case every night lately. Okay, set up this situation. We may turn to the right behind this island so we don't get rammed, but if we time this right, we have 6 guns forward. We may be able to kill the North Carolina and then deal with the Bayern like one at a time. It's gonna turn in. Let's go ahead and get a shot off. Then we get a second salvo. Straddled it. I should have waited. I should have been more patient. I wasn't patient enough. Should have let him completely come around the corner. So now, let's actually book to the right. We already have our back turret turned to the right. Because then, if we kite from this area, we can basically get a full broadside on the Bayern, not let him try to ram us. He thinks he might be ramming us. I'm lucking out. His turrets aren't pointed our way either. And just notice with German battleships, we're going to aim just above the armor belt. Because the turtleback armor is pretty good at preventing citadels. So we're just going to aim a little bit higher than waterline and wreck their superstructure. Come on, turn, baby. Russian ships don't have the world's greatest secondaries, but they're not bad when you're close in. I'm not sure about Vladivostok. I own the Vlad on PC, but I have not played it a whole time.
The ship is on fire.
Thank you, Samuel. Is that cruiser still out here? Okay, we're not going to get the Bayern. That's okay. Okay, we have 3 damage control parties left, so let's go ahead and use it. I'm going to check and see what kind of cruiser that is. It's a Fiji, so we have to worry about torpedoes. So I'm going to steer straight at the middle of the smoke. So we know they have single fire torpedoes. Again, we steer straight at them. It's going to allow us to try to go in between the torpedoes. And when we get a little bit closer to the smoke, we'll go ahead and throw our plane up as well. Whoop, out of the smoke. As soon as we get spotted, we know they're out of the smoke. This could hurt. So again, for citadeling the Fiji, it's actually better when he's at an angle to us, not broadside, because we'll likely overpen him. We hit him side on. Hey, we got a Confederate too. Oh my god, we just need to blow on him. He does not have a lot of hit points. Oh, the agony! We're gonna even dodge his torpedoes! Oh, there's the carrier. But again, my main battery range stinks, but he's coming our way. Okay, let's, no, we're not gonna waste the plane yet.
Torpedoes, direct front.
What is it with some of these odd DD players that spend the whole match hunting for the carrier?
Direct front.
You're mentioning all my things I'm going to cover in this next YouTube video, calling that the end around strategy, the DDs that go all the way around the edge of the map, or the carrier players that send their planes and hug the border, right? All the way around the edge. So let's debrief the Sinop action with a few key playstyle takeaways. First, lean into your armor-piercing shells with Sinop, as her AP damage per minute is over twice her high explosive DPM, and her fire chance is on the lower end of the range for battleships at 41%. Getting into mid or close range inside 12 kilometers or so is really going to pump up both your main gun accuracy and AP penetration and help you deal meaty blows that drive up your damage and kill totals. We've just seen how Sinop can handle a flank, but you have to brawl smart by making sure you stay angled to enemy battleships and be aware of your slow turret traverse and wide turning circle when you get within knife fighting distance. It's generally best if you keep battleships to one side so you don't offer flat armor and fat citadels to the enemy in a crossfire. And lastly, remember that your unique fast damage control party will allow you to fix a fire or flood and be back up and ready much quicker than a typical DCP. However, be mindful of the limited number of charges available. I have no reservations at all saying that Sinop is one of the top performing tech tree battleships at tier 6. She's an awesome ship that can deliver big performances and even put her team on her back in experienced hands, but at the same time has armor that is forgiving enough for newer players to learn angling skills with as well. I really like Sinop's straightforward playstyle, but her supremacy as the best tech tree battleship at tier 6 has been recently challenged by the arrival of one of my favorite ships from World of Warships PC, the USN Battleship North Carolina. North Carolina is actually one tier higher than Sinop on PC, and it will take a little time to see if that gives the new arrival an inherent advantage. If the early word on the street is correct, these two ships might be debated in the community for some time to determine who claims the top of the Tier 6 tech tree battleship heap. Sinop definitely delivers the goods when it comes to amazing AP shell penetration, and you can land a lot of high damage hits with their main battery guns when you connect. To hone your aim and boost your damage and kill totals, check out the first video in our Easy Aiming Guide series, which is linked in the corner above. And feel free to check out our growing library of guides, tips, and tricks here on our YouTube channel, or to catch us for a live stream on YouTube or on Twitch. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing if you enjoyed this video. It really helps the channel grow. This is VannKraken, and I am out.